Hi and welcome to this section. As we have learned what Docker is and how it is useful in the field of software development, so in this section, we'll be going ahead and installing Docker onto our machine, Docker. So to install Docker, just go ahead to docs.docker.com and to the installer section where everything is documented here. Let's say I want to install the Docker on my Windows or Mac. So here we do have to download the Docker desktop setup and then go ahead and follow some of the instruction which has been given here. For my ease of explaining as well as to go ahead and delete it, uninstall it, I'll be installing on a virtual machine which I have provision on Azure Cloud. So in my case, I'll be going ahead and installing the Docker for virtual machine. That is, let's say I want to install it on Ubuntu. I have a Ubuntu server here. So I'll be installing the Docker on that Ubuntu. So we do have a documentation where it is instructed how to install the Docker on a Ubuntu OS. So this is some of the commands which we do have to execute. I have already downloaded or I have already made a note of these Docker commands and to install Docker and saved it in a notepad. I'll simply go ahead and execute these commands one by one. So this is my Linux server where I'll be installing the Docker. If you see, this is the release note of our Ubuntu, which is the Linux server, and the flavor of Linux is Ubuntu here, and the Ubuntu version is 20.04.6. I'll simply go ahead and execute these commands one by one. First, I'll update the package index using this command sudo apt get update. Next, I'll be installing the packages to allow the apt to use our repository over HTTPS using this command. This is done. Now I'll add the Docker's official GPG key using this command. If you want this command, just leave a comment on my comment section. So I'll drop all these commands to you separately. So this is done. Now I'll set up the repository. So I'll just echo this. Now I'll update the package index again. This is done. Now I'll install the Docker using this command sudo apt get install. I'll say yes and continue. This taking some time. Yeah. Now the Docker has been installed on our Ubuntu server. Just to verify the version of Docker which is installed, I'll simply say Docker version. So it says permission denied. Let me switch to the root user by the command sudo su. Now, if you see I'm the root user, I'll execute with this root privilege. I'll say Docker version again. If you see here, it says Docker Engine Community version, which is 24.0.7. This is the version which we have installed on our Linux server. Now, simply I'll just run this command docker run and run my nginx image on port 80. I'll simply paste this command docker run. So what it is doing is it is downloading the image from the repositories from library slash nginx, which would be pulled from Docker Hub repositories again. Once that is pulled, it would go ahead and run all the host our image on port 80. So to just check the running instance of our image, I'll simply say docker ps. This command is used to show what image is running currently. So if you see, it was created 19 seconds ago and running over port 80. And the instance name is my nginx. So this is how usually the Docker containers are run using docker run command. And to pull the images from the repositories, we use the docker pull. And in case it is a public image and we can directly go ahead and run the command, it would directly pull the image from our repositories. That is something we will look in further sections. For now, we are just concentrating on installing the Docker on our machine, so which is already been done. So I hope you enjoy this section, installing Docker. Let's see you in the next section. Thank you.